Hello, welcome to this live where I'm going to be diving into anxiety, mental fatigue, distress, issues of the mind basically, and approaches to actually healing from that distress, from that anxiety, no matter how chronic it is. In a way that actually works, like healing for real, experiencing lasting relief. And this is so important because I just had a pop-up clinic, right? An Ayurvedic pop-up clinic. And a lot of you submitted in issues that you've been dealing with chronically, that you've been suffering from, that you've been challenged with. And every single response that I got included some sort of mental distress, some sort of mental imbalance, whether it was mental fatigue, anxiety, general distress, feelings of lethargy energetically, mentally, depression, of course, lack of focus, just lack of motivation. That was one. Lack of motivation, lack of creativity, feeling mentally stuck. So these were across the board issues that you are dealing with. And if you're not dealing with it, it seems like 100% a loved one of yours, whether it's a friend, a colleague, a boss, a parent, or your actual client, if you are working with patients and clients, are dealing with at least one of these issues, which is, and let's actually describe it a little bit. What is the feeling and the expression of anxiety? It's just waking up in the morning feeling uneasy in your chest, feeling uneasy in your body, not feeling motivated to get out of bed, feeling like you just want to stay in, not feeling encouraged, inspired to meet the day, regardless of what lies ahead of you. Maybe some really exciting things lie ahead of you. Maybe you have a good job that you're in love with. You have work that you're doing, you're successful in. Regardless of circumstance, right? There's this internal feeling of disconnect, and that's creating all sorts of anxious symptoms, or just feeling irritable mentally, feeling tired in your mind, feeling exhausted, going through the day but not really experiencing deep joy and deep fulfillment and deep ease. Or maybe you do for moments, but it's very up and down. You kind of get triggered easily. You feel yourself sensitive. You feel yourself looping through the same thoughts again and again and again. And generally your experience of the day isn't feeling light and easeful and motivated and spirited. There isn't an influx, a stream of creative ideas that you feel motivated to act on. Or maybe you are acting, but you're not actually experiencing the deep sense of peace and joy that you know is available to you. So these were some of the descriptions as well that participants of the pop-up clinic described, which is common, right? Which is very common. So again, it's regardless of circumstance. It doesn't really matter how much money you have in the bank. Those things help, of course, or how successful you are, or the kinds of work you're doing, or the relationship you're in. It's just something internal, deeply internal, that's mentally not being processed and being expressed as just a deep sense of uneasiness, unfulfillment, lack, listlessness. And I can get into, if any of you here have specific symptoms, was that my thumbs up? Specific symptoms or expressions of mental distress that you're experiencing that you want to describe and share in the chat, or that a loved one or a client has been falling into and experiencing again and again, I'd love to hear it so that I can go deep into that as well. So that is one of the main struggles, challenges, issues. And when I asked participants and the people that had submitted in inquiries, what have you tried? What have you tried to help you move through this fatigue, this exhaustion, these ups and down waves of distress or moods or emotion? And mostly everyone had tried therapy, mental therapy, hello Josie, mental therapy, counseling, psychotherapy, meditation, journaling, right? So it seems appropriate. You want to deal with issues of the mind, so address things intellectually, address things in the mind. You want to deal with the anxiety or the depression or the lethargy, fatigue, exhaustion, lack of creativity of the mind. Deal with it intellectually, mentally, focus on the mind. But here's the thing, it's not working. It's not working. These women, these submissions, these participants had been seeing therapists for years, have been going to counseling for years, have been doing the journaling, the gratitude practice, the meditation practice for years, and they are still experiencing these same patterns of stuckness. Exactly. Josie says, yeah, because it's in the body, lol. Well, it's in the mind too, so I'm not going to say stop those practices. They're obviously keeping you afloat and helping you in some way, but there's a reason why you're not healing fully at the roots. It's because issues of the mind are not just issues of the mind, they're of the entire mind-body system. And issues that arise in a stagnant, depressed, unmotivated mind, it's very hard to solve and heal with that same depressed, unmotivated, and stagnant mind. So if you have a mental status that is quite fearful, that is very forward looking, that is looking at the past, that's grabbing onto what ifs, should I, and things that haven't happened, things that are not existing, and grabbing onto that, how do you expect to actually heal and solve those same issues from that quality of mind? Of course it's not going to work. And you're going to keep going to the therapist, you're going to keep spending your money, you're going to keep taking meds that just pacify and suppress, you're going to keep doing the journaling till the end of your life, basically, and never actually heal. And what's crazy is that that's normalized. The conversations that are happening around you, the standards that are happening around you, it's like, oh yeah, you just have to live with it. You are an anxious person. You are a depressed person. You are a ADHD person. Like, you start to identify with those issues, even though they are actually just energetic fluxes that can be released, but now you're beginning to attach to them. So this is the scary part too, and this is something I pinpointed in the pop-up clinic with one of the women who had been dealing with some serious issues for years now, and I had to ask her, are you actually kind of loyal to your suffering? Is there a part of you that has become now comfortable with that identity of suffering in the mind and the body? And that's something you need to really look out for, because the longer that you just deal with these superficial methods, the longer you're actually going to start to grasp and start to attach to those issues. So it's imperative that you begin to work holistically to release. And here's the reason why those approaches, those methods you've been using to deal with these issues of the mind are not working. One, of course, I mentioned it's going to be very hard to really heal and deal with issues of the mind with that same mind that created the issues in the first place. But secondly, our mind is connected to our entire body. The mind is not a separate entity. We are an entire mind, body, energetic system. And it's when this entire body is not functioning optimally that we will start to see symptoms and expressions of disease here and there pop up. And the mind is sensitive and fragile, and most of us will experience it in the mind. So interestingly, when I started to dig and ask more questions about the other symptoms that these participants were experiencing, pretty much all were also experiencing other symptoms of distress and disease in their body. And guess what? They had been going to separate doctors, separate clinics, separate therapists to deal with those issues. So someone was having some issues in their face, in their skin. Another person's having issues in their digestion, in their bowel movements. One person was constipated. They didn't even know what was going on with them was constipation. And so all of this to say is that all of these issues are deeply intertwined and deeply interconnected, and they are all expressions of an entire mind-body system that isn't functioning optimally. And our work is not to locally pinpoint and start to address these issues separately and locally, because that's never going to work. It's to help optimize the entire mind and body all together. And one incredibly powerful way to do this is to really focus on the gut. So interestingly, for all three of these women, there were issues that were also diseased and imbalanced in the gut when I started to poke deeper into their appetite, into their daily bowel movement, into their experience of lightness in their digestion. All of these things that were dysregulated showed me, well, of course, if the gut isn't processing, assimilating, digesting, releasing nutrients and energy and thoughts optimally, then it's all going to get stuck here and there, and that stuckness is expressing itself in the mind. So instead of focusing only on working in the mental area through the journaling, through the gratitude, through the meditation, through the talk therapy, why not help the gut and the body actually process and digest and release that stagnation and create balance internally, energetically? And when you do that, that's going to automatically express itself as a more balanced, easeful, and regulated mind. In my practice, there has not been a single situation, single instance of someone coming to me with any type of anxiety, mental fatigue, exhaustion that has not required a deep cleansing in the gut. And it's that deep cleansing in the gut that immediately opens something, clears up something energetically, and the mind begins to start to sharpen, starts to become more discerning, starts to become more aware, and is able to catch itself going into those fearful loops, because ultimately we are not our thoughts, we are awareness. The awareness is like, oh wait, hang on a second, that's not me. There is more lightness in the entire body, in the entire spirit, more motivation to detach from identifications that no longer serve you. And it's easier then to even mentally, energetically release those past versions of you that were fearful, anxious, depressed, that you've been kind of identified with so long. And now you can just see her or see them and say, yeah, you are no longer serving me. these mechanisms, these methods of coping are no longer needed. I'm happy to release you. I feel bold and courageous to release you. But that's not just coming from the mind, that's coming from an entire body that's feeling light, that's feeling clear, that's feeling sharp, that's feeling balanced. And that's the entire mind-body system all together. So are you understanding why approaching issues of the mind purely through therapy and mental stuff and intellectual stuff and talking is not going to work for you, and it never has? Why it's imperative that you do not make the mistake and waste your time and waste your money and waste your energy and waste your life dealing with the different issues of your mind, of your body, whatever it is, with different localized approaches. Going to issues of the skin, to a dermatologist, going to issues of the hormones, to a gynecologist, going to issues of the mind, to a psychotherapist, going to issues of the joints, to a orthopedic, and instead addressing all of these issues through one comprehensive, holistic approach that's going to support your entire body, the intelligence of your entire body to be optimized. And when your entire system is functioning intelligently all together, all of those issues all together are going to start to experience relief and ease. I've seen it time and time and time again. People dealing with anxiety and gut issues and skin issues and pain, going to 5 different people, not experiencing any sort of deep-rooted healing for years. And then they work with me and we work with one holistic plan that's addressing everything all together, you as one microcosm, and me understanding you deeply, intimately, the emotional, the energetic, the physical, the mental, all together, and then moving through that plan, experiencing deep-rooted relief in all aspects of your body, especially and including your mind. Your energy starts to build. You feel deep ease mentally, emotionally. Your moods regulate. You wake up in the morning feeling bright and energized and vital, and you go to sleep feeling complete and fulfilled and peaceful. That is what is available to you when you actually approach yourself and your healing holistically, all together. And it's never going to work if you do this disconnected treatment stuff. And that is what every single participant had already been trying for years. And I'm super glad that you've been putting the effort, you've been doing the things, you care deeply, you've been approaching your health with whatever resources you've had or whatever you've been taught around you about what to do with your health. But now I'm offering you a really advanced and intelligent way of approaching yourself and your healing and your mind and your clarity. The most priceless thing there is for you. Your mind, your way of thinking, your way of experiencing life, your way of perceiving your day to day. It's no longer an option to superficially treat it and to outsource it to therapies that are never going to heal you at the roots. And then there's approach where we really understand you all together. We understand your guts, if your guts, which is your metabolic strength, your processing power of your entire body is functioning optimally, is really helping to release that stagnation on an energetic level, really supporting the mind to detoxify unwanted thoughts, unwanted patterns, unwanted beliefs that is so hard for you to just do intellectually. Now you get to just let your body do it. So we really understand the status of your gut, and I offer you a plan that is dietary, herbal, pranayam, lifestyle, routine, all together. That's understanding all of these pieces all together, optimizing your gut, helping you to detoxify, cleanse. That is helping to energetically stabilize your mind, clear of any stagnation, any fearful loops. And the result, you experience mental ease. So all of these participants were shocked because they expected me, when they came with all these mental issues, they expected me to talk about all their minds, and I was talking about their body. I was talking about their routine. I was talking about their lifestyle. I was talking about their gut. I was asking questions about their appetite, their bowel movements. These specificities that are translating to the mind, and offered them approaches and protocols that would help the entire body to release stagnation. And then the result is the mind clears up. And then, of course, the gratitude, the talk therapy, the reframes, all of those things are going to be incredible. And they're really going to kind of shift you further and further into that ease. But it's impossible to feel that deep-rooted mental vibrancy, intellectual radiance, if your body on a full energetic physical level is stuck, is filled with toxic things, is not processing, is literally holding on to past experiences, past traumas, past memories, resentment, anger, fears that have happened when you were young. It's literally holding on to it. It's grasping onto it. And no matter what you do mentally, it's not going to get released. So in order to really experience that lasting ease, that beautiful radiance that that feeling of vitality waking up in the morning, you have to move through this comprehensive approach. And it's beautiful because you really save a lot of time and energy and money by trusting in one health practitioner and one mentor, and really surrendering yourself to being seen by them, being heard by them, being felt by them, being known by them fully, mentally, energetically, physically, spiritually, and being guided in a way that understands all of you and supports all of you, the fullness of you. And that is where then all the pieces start to synchronize and just click and create exponential, rapid results and relief. So this is the crazy thing, right? I've had clients and students who've been trying to heal from issues for like 10 years plus. Things that they started experiencing when they were 15, 16. The anxiety, the depression, the lethargy, the exhaustion, all of those, the lack of focus, the deep criticality, and have been making the efforts for years and outsourcing for years. And then we work together, and because the approach is so holistic, and also because I'm exceptionally gifted at understanding you on an emotional, mental, spiritual level, which a lot of Ayurvedic practitioners haven't cultivated that skill or that tool. It's lost because it requires your daily practice of cultivating your own discernment, which is something that's very important to me. So I meet you at that level, and literally within 12 weeks, because that's the minimum time that I work with anyone, within 12 weeks, you're experiencing a type of ease and relief and vitality that you haven't in years, maybe in over a decade. Why? Why is it working? It's because there's an intelligence to the approach. And I hope you're really understanding that intelligence. It includes the guts. It includes the full body. It includes the intelligence of the processing powers of the body. It's not just pinpointing at your mind and intellectually trying to figure things out there. That's not going to work. And if you are someone that has clients and are working with clients, helping them through mindset blocks, through limiting beliefs, through repeated loops, patterns, distress, trauma, you are going to really help them. You're going to support them so much more powerfully, with so much more impact, with so much more result, if you too are supporting them with their diets, with their guts, with the herbs, with the flushing out of toxins on a full, holistic, comprehensive level. You are going to help them see results that no one else in your niche is able to, because you're working with this intelligence. And this is exactly what I teach my students. This is exactly what I teach you. I want you, what do I want? I want you to save your time, save your money, save your energy, and save your life, basically. Like, I want you to do that. I want you to really be in full agency, ownership, and empowerment of your vibrancy and vitality. And I want you to stop outsourcing to modalities and to therapies that are disconnected and that do not work. I don't want you normalizing this energetic fatigue, this mental anxiety, this uneasiness in your life for life. I don't want that for you. I want you to move through your healing intelligently. I want you to actually see results. I want you to actually feel easeful in your body, vibrant, vital, energized. I want you to wake up feeling light and clear. And I want you to be able to do this work in the most effective manner possible for you. And then I want you to be empowered so that you're able to do this for yourself, no matter what circumstance hits you, what turbulence comes, because life is just going to keep throwing craziness at you and turbulence. No matter what's happening, I want you to feel so in your power that you know exactly what to do to return yourself to ease and to be able to support your loved ones, the people you deeply, deeply care for, your partner, your children, with that same intelligence. So when you see them looping in mental exhaustion and fatigue and anxiety, that you too can support them with tailor-made foods, herbs, diet, lifestyle practices, breathing practices that can really heal them at the roots. And if you are wanting to support your clients in that way, if you are a coach or a healer or a mentor, to be able to see them break through from things that they've been struggling with for years, within weeks, and them feeling that deep, oh my God, this is priceless. I need to let my friends, my circles know about you because you are helping them in a way that no one else can. This is the intelligence of Ayurveda. This is why it's been working and being passed down for thousands of years, regardless of changing cultural circumstance, regardless of changing technology, regardless of what new science has come out, what new, dietary thing has come out. These this intelligence, these principles, they actually work. They help you heal at the roots, and you get to equip yourself with this. There's really no excuse. And then you get to be that person who doesn't need to outsource anymore and can actually lead deep-rooted healing for other people, for life. This is incredible. So I invite you to really honor that possibility for you, that you have access to this wisdom, to this clarity of mind, to this inner peace, that your body is going to cleanse, is going to tap into its discernment, that your mind does get to feel vital, and you don't need to be circling through the same methods that haven't been working for life. And you get to do it intelligently, and you get to be supported by someone that really is going to help you heal, the fullness of you heal, and is really good at understanding all of you, the mental, the energetic, the physical, the emotional, and supporting you in that comprehensive manner, so that you actually feel what you're here to feel. You experience life in the way that you are here to experience life. You stop outsourcing in these limited ways continuously, and you are able to actually do this for yourself, and you're able to feel that intelligence and then pass that on to the people that so deeply need it. So that's what I have for you today. Let me just feel into the recap, which is, yes, if you or anyone you know has been experiencing any sort of mental distress, anxiety, fatigue, energetic depression, lethargy, and you have been trying all of these talk therapies, these intellectual methods, the meditation, the journaling, the gratitude practice, and it's not been working for you, then we need to start looking into what else is irregular, imbalanced in your entire mind-body system. We need to start supporting your gut to do what it's here to do, which is really process and release toxicity on every layer of you, so that you see the results and the relief that you're here to see. And that is what every single client and every single student that has worked with me has been able to see, right? It's not like a one-off thing. It's literally every single client and student. Why? Because this approach and this method is intelligent, it's holistic, it's comprehensive, it's logical, it's timeless, and it helps you as a full microcosm heal. And when you really energetically, internally begin to heal, then everything that you're experiencing, all the symptoms, all together start to dissipate. Goodbye. And you start to feel the courage and the motivation, finally also seeing the results and seeing the relief and seeing your loved ones feel it, seeing your clients experience it. There's nothing like this, and you deserve it. You deserve it. I am actually currently enrolling students to work within this very, very comprehensive, well thought out program, which takes you through your own individual healing and embodiment of Ayurveda, so you experience that mental ease, vitality, feel the energetic lightness and vitality that is for you, and then really learn how it works, why it works, the tools, the skills, the principles of Ayurveda, of this timeless science. Be equipped with it so that you can apply it for yourself no matter what, for your loved ones. You don't need to outsource. You don't need to be confused or wondering why something's not working, trying things that are just not don't have any sense to them just because they're mainstream. And then if you're here, if you desire to actually build a life doing this for others, or you already are doing this for others, really 100x your impact, your potency, your medicine, your ability, your capacity to guide others. Get really good at this holistic healing, and you are protected for life. You are provided for life. This is a healing that's always going to support you. It's always going to serve you. It's always going to be of use to you. It's a wisdom that you can no longer ignore. You can no longer stay asleep to. I cannot believe moving through life feeling confused about why something is happening, why a symptom is going on, feeling like I need to check in with someone outside of me about it constantly, no matter what's happening, outsource it to different people. Like, that just sounds so exhausting to me. So do this for yourself. Do this for future you. Know that you deserve it. This is available to you. And DM me if this is something that you've been actually seeking, and you've been seeking a mentor that you feel resonant with, that you feel aligned with, that you feel is truly capable of holding you and supporting you in the way that you deserve, whose method and approach really speaks to your heart. You can really feel deep down inside that this is something that's going to actually work, even if everything you've tried in the past hasn't. To not inflate things that haven't worked in the past to the efforts that you put in the future, because that's a pattern that I see come up sometimes. It's like, oh, I've worked with therapists and I've worked with people in the past and it's just not working. So, and it's like, yeah, it's not worked because it lacked intelligence. It lacked discernment. It lacked comprehensive, nuanced approach. And the way in which I work with my students is completely different. And the way in which I hold you and guide you is completely of an upgraded quality. And it immediately shifts you into a whole new timeline of existence. So feel into that, envision that for yourself, breathe into it, receive that vision, know it to be yours, and take that energy and apply. DM me. This is a beautiful, beautiful opportunity. And yes, I'm enrolling you for the next 3 weeks. So now is the time to read through the details, to let me know if you have any questions, any whatever sensations are coming up for you. Usually there's a little bit of fear and doubt and resistance when you're on the precipice of actual upgrades. We know that, and it's about how you break through and move through that, and I'm here to support you with that. So big love. I hope this was a good, helpful reminder for you, if not opening, in upgrading your own approach to your own healing, and for your loved ones, of course, and for your own clients. And yeah, I'm excited to hear from you. Big love, everyone. Goodbye.